All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you again for being here. A couple of quick housekeeping notes before we really get started. I guess really the only important one is that the bathrooms here are out that door you came in and then to the right. I think, was that the only additional announcement I was supposed to make? Yes, I think so. I am going to, so I told a story last night at dinner about, I put my glasses on and my last year at Synod was the first year that I gave the global mission presentation, and I got up, I did it, I read it, I had my glasses on, I come back, about 35 minutes later, I get a text from my wife, and I'm thinking it's gonna be like, hey, you're doing great, because there's the delay, right? And instead she goes, do you wear glasses? And I was like, yes, I can't see anymore. And also, I should stay on script. I mean, my pastor's here, my former pastor's here. I should stay on this script. So welcome. I'm super glad you guys are here. We're really excited about today and tomorrow. Excited about what we'll learn together over these next 2 days. My name is Scott Engelsman, and I'm the Chief Mission Officer here at the RCA. And I just want to start by sincerely thanking you all for being here. I know that all of us live super busy lives, and you being here means that something that's on your plate is not happening today and tomorrow. So thank you for being here and taking the time to be with us. Our hope and prayer is that you will leave here inspired about something new and even more excited about the mission work that your church is already engaged in your community. This event, Local Mission 2025, is a bit of an offshoot from what we did in January at Mission 2025. Some of you were there for that as well. At that event, and in the days that followed, one of the things that I kept hearing from people is, man, we should do this more often. Having events where we all get together without having to vote on things and do things and be on the same page is really awesome. We actually kind of like each other. So, you know, I came back and I said to my team, hey, is this something we could pull together in like 5 months? And they kind of looked at me and said, do you really want to? And I said, yeah, I think we should do it. And they said, we should definitely do it. And so here we are, 6 months, 7 months later, doing this event, and we're super excited about it. Perhaps the person who has been the most excited about this event is the guy sitting next to me here. You probably all know Eddie. Eddie's our fearless leader, otherwise known as the General Secretary. He likes to tell the joke that sometimes he's the general, sometimes people think he's the secretary. But Eddie, why are you so excited about this event and about how Local Mission has impacted your journey in ministry?
Thank you, Scott. Welcome, friends. Good morning. Buenos dias. So glad to be here. Glad to see you. Glad to see many of people that I know and I love, and glad to meet many new faces. So I'm so blessed to see all of you, and this is going to be a great 2 days. I hope you're coming ready to hear, to listen the stories. I was looking at the different things that are going to happen today and tomorrow, and it's going to be exciting. Many people that are doing awesome local mission work, this is great. So, why am I excited about local mission? You know, as a pastor, I have never followed a pastor in a church. Okay, that has been my ministry career. All of my ministry career had been church planting. So I had done a lot of work in church planting. I have led 6 plants myself, and I have led churches and coordinated 28 church plants in my career. So for me, local mission work is really important, because I come into a community with, yes, your family, that's your congregation. You don't have money to hire staff, and you don't have a congregation to really help you do the things that you need to do. So we had done all of that, and it is exciting to see people coming to Jesus. It's exciting to see people connecting with Jesus and getting to serve in their community. So one of the passages, when Scott invited me to give this a short conversation with you, I came to Scripture. You know, what is the foundational passage for me in relation to local mission? And a foundational passage, and I need to take my glasses, Scott. You need to put it on to read. I need to take it off to read. That's how things work in life. You know, I never understand that. So one of the foundational passages for me when we talk about local mission engagement comes from Ephesians chapter 4, 12 and 13 and 11, 12, 13. It says, so Christ himself gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, and teachers to equip his people for works of service, so that the body of Christ may be built up until we all reach unity in the faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature, attaining to the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. So for me, this is a foundational passage. Early on in my career, in my ministry, I learned that I belong to the group of people that are part of the verse 11 in this passage. So my job is to equip the saints for the work of ministry. My job as a pastor, as a leader, is to equip people for works of service. So the ministers of the church is not the minister. The ministers of the church is the congregation. And you know, when you have that philosophy and understanding of what it means to be, you know, an equiper of the saints, that changed everything. Your ministry changes. For me, it really changed. So I said, okay, I get it. My job is to equip the saints for the work of ministry. So who is called to do the work of ministry? Is the saints. So in my church, I said, well, I'll be doing two things. I'll preach because, you know, I need to proclaim the good news. I'll be preaching, and I'll be equipping the saints for the work of ministry. Everything else is done by the people. So I invited the whole congregation to serve, and you know, I saw a lot of people coming to Jesus because, you know, the equipping of the saints is a foundational work of the minister. So we changed the whole mentality in our church, and we were blessed to see many people. So just one story, you know, I can share a lot of stories, but just one. Before coming to California, I was invited by Emmanuel Reformed Church in Los Angeles, in Paramount, California, to come and join their staff. That was a big church. And I told you, I had never followed a pastor in a church. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm coming to a large church because they had close to, I don't know, 1,500 people coming to worship every Sunday. And I was like, okay, I never done that before. I done all of the work that I had done is mostly, you know, like mission work, local mission, equipping small groups and seeing these small groups, you know, growing. But now I'm invited to join a big church, and not as the senior pastor, but as a pastor of church planting and Latino ministries. So Paramount is over 90% Spanish-speaking, you know, the population is over 90%. A lot of Spanish-speaking people live in California. So I came, and Emmanuel wanted to have a church for Spanish-speaking people. So they needed a pastor that could speak Spanish, and also a pastor that could lead a movement for church planting. So they found me I was in the Central Valley. I was in California already, but I was in Fresno, central northern California, doing the work that I was doing there. So I joined them, and for me, you know, to come and begin the start of a new ministry focused on Latino people, that was a good experience. But one thing that that church did that I really, you know, I was really blessed to be part of that. That church embraced a community, a whole community. So if you know the story of Compton, California, you know, even there was even a movie about Compton, and it was a broken down city. a city that, it was a hopeless city, and coming to serve at Emmanuel, we are really neighbors of Campton. If you see the map of California, Emmanuel is here, Campton is just next door. And you can really tell when you were crossing from Campton to Paramount or from Paramount to Campton. So our church decided to adopt and decided to embrace the whole community, the whole city of Campton. And for our people, it was a wonderful blessing for our people to come once a quarter to bless the city of Campton. We were able to raise money, and once a quarter, 4 times a year, we take over 2,000 volunteers with yellow T-shirts and coming to serve the city of Campton. Many people that receive, the blessing of a lot of people that they didn't know, a lot of strangers coming in and painting houses, changing the roofs in homes, painting the whole school, the whole community, and just cleaning up the city. It was beautiful to see that. And many organizations, because they saw that our church was doing that, they really joined. So we were blessed by, Lowe's, Home Depot. They gave us a lot of paint and, the materials that we need. Many times, the money that we were spending doing that was raised by a lot of people in the community. So that changed not only the community, the city of Campton, and gave them hope. It was beautiful for the people to see that their schools, in one day, painting the whole school. In the morning was full graffiti and really broken down community. In the afternoon, when the day was done, the school was beautifully painted, because a lot of people that had businesses, a lot of people that knew construction, a lot of people that from our church, they served that beautiful that day. So many people would really embrace, and when people were saying, who are you guys? We were saying, well, we are the churches of Campton, because we never invited anybody to go to our church. We connected with the churches in the community and just inviting those people, to join the churches in their community. So being the presence of Jesus in the community, being the hands and feet of Jesus in a community, it is a wonderful, wonderful thing. For us and for me as a pastor in our church, it was a beautiful blessing to see our congregation that, we were expecting our church to serve. Everyone that was becoming a member of the church, they had the expectation to, it's important to go to worship, but it's also important to serve. That's part of the expectation. When we have congregations where there is no expectation of people to serve, that ministry becomes a little more complicated. I pray a lot for pastors, when I see pastors having to, work on their boilers, or having to vacuum the church because nobody's there to do that, changing, light bulbs because no one is there to serve, and the congregation doesn't have money to hire a janitor, or, fixing doors and fixing windows. For me, it's hard. It's hard to see that, because the congregation, the people. When we talk about local mission, it's not only about serving outside of the church, but also serving, having an army of people equipped for the works of service. And service is not just preaching, that's an important part of the service, but also serving the church, serving the community, and inviting the congregation to really be ready to serve. So going back to this passage, for me, this passage from Ephesians is so foundational and so important, to equip the saints for the work of ministry. I'm sure that today and tomorrow you will be learning and hearing stories about about equipping the saints. So I think that local mission has to do about equipping the saints for the work of ministry. God bless, our congregation that come and worship on Sunday. God bless the people that support, the church financially. But it's also really, really important to really equip the saints for the work of ministry. For us, as I look back, 11 years ago, I left that community and just see the people that were beginning to work and now see them really engage in the ministry. That gives me a lot of joy because, I challenge them first to serve and to be a blessing to the community. And now seeing all of those people after 11 years that I left, and now I look back and connect with many of them, it is a wonderful blessing to see all of these people serving their communities and loving Jesus. So Scott, that's why I love these things that we are doing here, and equipping our churches, equipping leaders, for that important work of service.
That's awesome. Thank you, Eddie. Thanks for sharing with us. One of the questions, I've been here for 19 years. I've worked for the RCA. And one of the questions that I've heard maybe the most over those last almost 2 decades is, what's the value of being part of a denomination anyway? And as I look out here this morning, I think this is it. And it's not a coincidence that you're seated around tables. It's not just because they were already set up yesterday and we didn't feel like taking them down. It is so that we hope to foster conversation. We did this hoping that you'll talk to each other, that you will meet some new people and learn some new things. Our hope, and we're super confident that the things you're going to hear from up here at microphones is going to be awesome. And we hope that it brings something up that you say, huh, and you talk to the other people around you, that it sparks conversation.